After marathon talks with Vladimir Putin, round 2 of Emmanuel Macron's shuttle diplomacy is continuing in Kyiv, where Volodymyr Zelensky will be seeking reassurances from his French counterparts. Macron's bringing the message that addressing Putin's security concerns can go hand in hand with defending Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Ukrainians' biggest fear is that Paris might cut a deal with Putin at Kyiv's expense. Key to Tuesday's talks will be efforts to revive the so-called Normandy format, a grouping of France, Germany, Ukraine and Russia, which would finally put into force a shaky ceasefire agreed back in 2015. The Minsk agreement also called for the withdrawal of soldiers and heavy arms from eastern Ukraine, neither of which has happened. In recent months, more than 140,000 troops have amassed at Russia's border with Ukraine.
When the Minsk Accords were signed, there wasn't anything like today's intense Russian military presence at the border. That is why this represents for us a substantial shift, and it mustn't distort or scramble our discussions. And that's something we discussed with President Putin, and when I talk about stability and de-escalation, that's what it's about.
But Putin blames Kyiv for the ongoing conflict.
It's obvious the current authorities have set a course for the dismantling of the Minsk agreement.
Kyiv and Moscow have clashed over how to implement the deal, which requires Kyiv to provide autonomy to the rebel-held east and an amnesty to separatists. Ukraine's president wants to ensure that any peace deal doesn't give the separatists and effectively the Kremlin a veto over Kyiv's foreign policy. Macron is to brief Putin by phone on the results of his talks with Zelensky. All sides have so far left the door open to further diplomacy.